Episode 2 with Dan Matutina of Plus63 Design Company and Hydra Design Group. You're listening to Kendrick Loves to Brand, the branding podcast featuring stories and lessons from entrepreneurs and brand builders so you can get inspiration, insights, strategies, and tactics as you create your own game-changing brand. All right, welcome to the show, Dan.
Hello.
See, Dan is one of the people that I look up to in the design industry. I've been following Dan for a long time, since Antidote started. So I've also had the chance to meet Dan a few times na rin sa mga industry events. So I'm actually very honored to have Dan here for one of our episodes. So welcome, Dan.
Thanks. I'm also a fan of Antidote, I guess. Parang pag sa branding, identity, ayan. So maganda ng work. At saka at least, I think for Antidote, yung one of the things that I really liked is nag-transition kayo to creating your own brands and own products, diba? May restaurant, may... Tama, diba? Yung
beach blanket.
Yeah, yung beach blanket.
Correct,
Tapos ngayon, yung... I just found out yung spray.
Yung spray. A-game, yeah.
Yeah.
So Dan, so let's start. How do you normally introduce yourself? I mean, you're very famous sa design circles, but let's say somebody who's meeting you for the first time, they don't know who you are. How do you introduce yourself?
Usually, I introduce myself as a designer and illustrator. I guess in very general terms, because sometimes I like to call myself as a graphic designer. Pero minsan yung designer, I found it better kasi at least I do a lot of different things and na-encapsulate niya. And also, I separate yung illustration part because it's a totally different parang industry and discipline but related to graphic design. So parang I do both of those things. So that's why I think, ayun, designer and illustrator.
So the design is under, you have your own company called Plus63?
Plus63, yeah.
So when did Plus63 start?
Plus63 started 8 years ago. But prior to that, I had a different design studio with my other friends called Ideals. And what we were doing at that time were mostly cost-oriented design. So parang for 5 years, we've been doing that. Parang design for non-profit. So walang profit din. So, pero I guess even back in university and college, we've always wanted to use parang design for social causes. And even until now, with Plus63, we still do it from time to time. And yun, it's been 8 years. Actually, last week yung 8th year namin.
Oh, nice. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
I remember nga yung Ideals kasi at that time, I remember pa nga, I used to download your annual reports.
May mga annual
kasi
reports.
Kasi ang gaganda ng design. Tapos nakaka-inspire makita yung from year to year, ilang clients, ilang projects. And then, like you mentioned, you usually take on mga social enterprises or mga NGOs. So nakaka-inspire na somebody like you who's very talented, giving your talents to mga ganun, NGO, social causes. So from there, 8 years ago, you transitioned to creating Plus63. Why the change from Ideals?
I think, not really na we outgrow ourselves. So parang yung mga partners, yung mga friends ko, that time, yung isa girlfriend ko din. Girlfriend ko, parang nagkaroon lang ng part na, ako personally, it became hard for me because, syempre we were super young. And in this industry, unless you're super talented, parang if you're young, parang hindi ka makaupo dun sa table of people deciding things.
Yeah.
So parang, I guess yung mga backgrounds namin, parang maybe yung mga CV namin is not parang super established or mukhang respectable. So it's hard to be on the table to make parang mas important decisions on design. And I realized at that time na when I was looking at the best cost social design work, parang most of them were done by really good design studios, not necessarily parang design studio focused on doing social causes. So parang yun yung realization ko personally. So parang kasi yung thing before with Ideals, why while we enjoyed it and we met a lot of really inspiring people, yung naging challenge was parang nasa end lang kami. Make a flyer, make a poster, make a logo, which is perfectly fine. But parang hindi talaga kayo makapasok dun sa strategy or yung conceptualization of the actual project.
From the start of the process.
From the process until the end. So, yun. Kaya, even while doing ideals, I was doing my own personal projects na design na mas commercial. Tapos parang eventually, we realized na parang okay din pala siya. Especially here in the Philippines, I'm sure you've experienced it, na parang if you don't have big commercial clients, parang iba yung tingin sa'yo, di ba?
Yeah, parang it's hard to be taken seriously,
yeah,
I
exactly,
guess, diba?
So parang, I guess at that time, yun yung parang hinahanap namin. And so far, parang ganun talaga yung nangyari. After that, after doing Plus63, working on some really nice projects, commercial and social projects, parang biglang yung mga projects na ginagawa namin ngayon, parang sobrang involved na kami dun sa buong process of doing it. So parang...
So from there, from Plus63, we're here now in your office. It's called Hydra Design Group. So how did that come about?
So Hydra Design Group is exactly that. It's a design group made of Plus63, Inksurge, Acid House, KM. And it came about, parang medyo jokey siya nung nag-start. Parang April Fool's kind of thing. Yeah. Pero before that, kahit may mga April Fools kami na inisip, even from time to time in some meetings, minsan napag-usapan din namin ng Inksurge and Acid House na may mga tao na nagsabi sa amin, why don't you start, a group na magkakasama kayo lahat. And yung one thing that sort of, yung nagpabili sa kanya is of the space also. Because at that time, parang they were looking for people to come here. Tapos parang maganda yung space, tapos I also talked to Charles kasi siya yung client din namin siya, tapos parang mahilig din siya sa design. So parang siya yung non-Hydra na group. So parang siya, parang friend, partner na kasama. So parang we had so sobrang memorable to for me kasi we had our first meeting in Estancia Mall. Sa Kapihan, sa craft pa doon. Tapos yung iba, it was their first time meeting each other. So si KM, first time nila na-meet si Inksurge. Si Charles, first time niya na-meet si Acid House and si Inksurge. Ako, matagal ko na sila kilalang lahat. So parang
you're the common ground ng
lahat. Yung magkakilala. Tapos parang nabibring up na before. Kasi syempre, kami nila Rex, Inksurge, and Acid House, we always talk to each other. So parang, pero syempre naisip namin, we need a space designer like interior. Kasi parang ngayon yung design, parang medyo 360 na siya. Hindi na lang graphic designer logos. So, kasama sila KM. And then, what happened was, nag-suggest si Charles na, uy, punta tayo, tingnan natin yung site. So, from Estancia, biglang nag-decide, sige, punta tayo dito para makita yung space. Ganun. So, nung nakita yung space, parang everyone, wow, sige, game na. So, parang medyo, I don't really advise that kind of decision making. So, parang medyo super serious decision done in like half a day. So, parang,
sometimes those are the best decisions ngayon. Parang commit ka na tapos...
Yeah. I'm sure na-experience mo rin yan in some other aspect. Pero syempre in your mind, you always think, parang tama ba yung decision na di ba, matagal mo pinag-iisipan. And then, yun, nung napag-usapan, sige. Tapos parang biglang game lahat. So, yun. That's how it started. But it also started because of, I guess, a need. Kasi kami lahat dito, parang natakot kami mag-scale up. Kasi ako personally, yun yung fear ko. So yung studio ko, there are only like 5 of us. Okay. And I'm always scared to scale and to hire a lot of people. So parang sila Inksurge, 4 lang din sila. Sila Acid House, there are about 5 or 6 of them. Sina KM na siguro yung pinakamalaki. There's about 10 of them. So parang yun yung naisip namin na maybe if we try this, maybe this can be a working model for someone who wants to scale modularly in a way. So parang yun yung need namin at that time. Kasi minsan may mga lumalapit na projects, tapos kunwari hotel or resort, oh my God, parang sobrang dami nang kailangan. Tapos parang in my mind, parang we'll be doing this for a year. Tapos parang I guess for me, parang, oh my God, parang for 1 year yun yung gagawin ko, baka mabore ako or hindi ako So parang may ganong need. And I think for us, unique lang siya for us. Maybe for other studios, iba yung the way they see it. Pero for us, so far, okay naman siya.
Actually, sila K and Mabe, KM Design, they actually designed the first Antidote office.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yung first office ko,
So,
I
kilala
worked
mo,
with them.
kilala mo talaga sila yun before.
See, as in, so, nakakatuwa to hear from, that, they're a group of 10 now. So before, talagang literally, si K and Mabe lang yung kausap ko. Very good. As in, very happy with the office that they designed. Malit lang yung space nun dati, sa Ortigas pa kami before we moved. Kinakatuwa. That's how I found out nga na you guys are working together kasi I think you have some projects with Charles yata na magkakasama kayo. Yeah. Nakakwento nga nila yun. Sabi nga nila, parang dapat sumali ka din sa amin, ganyan.
Yun nga. So parang lang siya parang, sila kay, from that time, paano mo sila nakilala?
Paano nga ba? Let me think. I think na-refer sila sa akin, hindi ko na maalala. I think by sila Mylene.
Chung. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think, yeah.
Sila May.
Yeah,
so friend, kilala mo rin pala sila May.
Kasi parang, what were we doing with Mai? Parang may project yata kami with Mai. And then, natanong ka lang, sino gumawa ng office nila? Refer niya si Kim.
Okay.
Sakto kasi, I'm looking to move into my first office. So, parang ganun.
Nice.
So, in terms of, I guess we were talking kanina off-air, ng mga challenges as a creatives here. Coming up with new concepts. What you mentioned something kanina about you think the market always needs to see something physical. Why do you think that is?
I think here, parang based on my experience and also sometimes based on my personal yung preference din. Sometimes I'd like to see the product first and then I mean I'm used to buying stuff online. Siguro kung medyo kilala yung brand and nakita ko na yung brand in person, parang okay na siya, no problem, I'll just buy it online. But if it's a brand that I haven't seen in person, so parang minsan naiintindihan ko rin why frustrating din siya, I guess, for if you're doing something na mas ganun yung model na
Correct.
You want to sell things online
yeah.
and then the market doesn't give it a chance. So parang it's kind of challenging. Parang here in the Philippines, I think medyo necessary na you need to have a brick and mortar store or even put your products in
a shop.
So people can see it. Parang ganun. And I think even for you, you've experienced that for some of the brands that you have.
I think especially with A Game now, parang we realized we had to do a lot of education sa market. So we do a lot of events. Tapos parang even if people see it online, even if you explain it, parang they'd still need to actually see the product, try it. So parang they'd rather make travel time, parking, diba, traffic, just to buy. Pero I think yun din yung I think that's a challenge, I guess, for us as designers or brand creators na sometimes we feel like I think we're explaining it naman properly. Diba? Parang we communicated it properly or clearly, pero I guess sometimes if the customer thinks na may konti pang uncertainty for them to try it, diba? Especially if it's something new. I guess yun yung isang what we need to also help improve sa market, diba? Na if it's a new concept, dapat maintindihan nila
or I guess may certain level of experience parang for them na makita nila, mahawakan nila. Kasi parang yung sa iba naman, and also from personal experience, once I see the product, and parang, okay na to. Parang, okay na. Pag tuloy-tuloy na, I just buy it online.
Yeah, parang you trust that brand.
Exactly. So parang, I guess, especially like what you said, if it's a very new concept, parang people would rather see it first than, risk buying something online.
Or at least parang you wait for testimonials, reviews.
Yeah, reviews. Actually, here, super big deal, no? Pag, especially if medyo kilala yung mag-review.
Correct.
Parang minsan ang bilis nung trust din ng ibang tao if someone popular or celebrity.
I think that's why, globally, yung influencers are, it's really a big marketing tool, diba? I think even here all the more.
Yep.
Especially, I guess, if you're coming from yung certain markets na parang they're not used to seeing parang something kakaiba. Diba? At least parang they want to see somebody they trust.
Yep.
Parang ganun.
No, talk about it or...
Speaking of parang ganun na, who did you look up to or what made you decide to get into design? So let's go back to the start.
Sige.
Yung batang
I think,
Dan.
Nung bata ko, wala nung alam sa design. When I was younger, and when I was small, I guess I was very interested in cartoons and animation like all of us were. And growing up in Tacloban City, nakakatawa kasi at that time, wala naman kaming cable. So yung exposure ko to anything that looked creative or illustrated was yung 5 p.m. yung local TV station namin called PRTV12. May mga animation reruns lang. So dun lang yung exposure ko. Thundercats, Transformers. So parang yun yung
Classic.
first, yung mga classic. Kasi luma, minsan paulit-ulit lang eh. Kasi wala namang cable at that time. So parang yun yung first exposure ko na I thought, parang maganda naman to. But I guess, if you grow up from the province, you never really think of these things as possibilities for a career. So parang, and especially in the province, parang yung options mo is, maging engineer, maging nurse, maging doctor, maging accountant. Parang yun lang talaga yung choices na gusto mo. So even when I was younger, I was more into yung mga sciences, math, kasi parang, I guess traditionally yun yung type of subjects that would get you a good education or something like that. But even at that time, drawing pa rin ako, sumasali sa mga competition. Ako yung default artist ng batch na pag kailangan palitan yung bulletin board, ako yung gagawa ng mga poster, ako gagawa. So, it was, nakikita ko na yung mga animation studios, mga films, animated films na I really like. But like what I said earlier, in Tacloban, parang yung concrete visualization namin if you want to go into the creative is either you paint yung sa sinehan, yung dati kasi yung mga sinehan hindi posters, di ba? Pinipaint ng mga tao yung mga billboards ng mga artista or signage sa mga jeepney. So parang yun yung pinaka-concrete na I can see. And then before I took the upcut, parang sobrang medyo baduy na magazine, yung Glitter pa yung pangalan. Pero showbiz magazine siya. But binabasa ko siya kasi yung pinsan ko always buy that for the showbiz. But meron siyang pages about wrestling, WWE, fan ako ng wrestling even before. And then, may mga parts siya na, minsan nag-feature sila mga comic book artist, mga illustrator, mga ganyan. Tapos at that time, na-feature nila si Wills Protasio, yung Marvel comic book artist na Filipino. And, based na siya sa US. He's sometimes here now. But, nakita ko dun sa, yung mga parang ganito, Q&A. Tapos nandun siya, sinulat niya, nag-fine art siya. So, parang yun yung first time ko nakita na may ganong kurso. Siyempre, nakikita ko may mga artists, illustrators, pero hindi ko alam ano yung kinuha nilang kurso, di ba? So, parang yun. Parang nakita ko fine arts. Tapos, when I took the upcut in UP, nakita ko, may fine arts sa UP. So, sabi ko, i-applyan ko to. Hindi ko siya ginawa ko siyang first choice compared to yung mga sciences. Tapos, nung nakapasa ako, sobrang disappointed yung mga teachers ko nung high school sa akin, except for my drafting teacher. Kasi even siya din pala, gusto niya mag-fine arts, pero nag-arty siya. Creative course din naman. Pero, ayun, so parang syempre yung parents ko, wala na silang choice. Pinayagan nila ako kasi scholar din naman sa UP. So parang, yun, doon nag-start yung journey ko. And then at that time, nag-research ako. Tapos, naisip ko, pwede pala kung kunwari sa Pilipinas ka magiging, pwede pala mag-advertising or ibang, yung graphic design, wala siya sa isip ko, even at that time. So, graphic design started in UP when I was already there as a student. Specifically, I think when I was in my junior, late second year, tas parang junior year ko siguro, early junior year. Kasi yung first love ko at that time in UP, syempre papasok ka lang, wala ng fine arts, gusto maging artist, di ba? Or, I don't know, maging advertising guy. And then, na-expose ako, may professor ako na who recently passed away, si Cesar Hernando, na na-expose ako sa film. So parang film yung parang first love ko kasi parang may mga certain classes kami na film related. Sabi ko, ito yung siyempre at that time, sobrang mahal gumawa ng film. Kailangan medyo mayaman ka para maging film major. So nag-isip ako ng another choice and then it was design, like graphic design station. And it just so happened na yung isang kapatid nung good friend ko na yung barkada ko na batchmate ko din, mga graphic designer din siya. At that time, si J. Lucas Reyes, may nagde-design siya. Tapos na-expose ako sa lahat ng mga designers, as in sila Drew Europeo, sila Half Project, Tapos yung half project, kaklase ko pa yung isang guy doon, si Nick Balse. So parang, yung isa nun sila Rex, tsaka sila Drew, di ba? So, nakita ko sobrang laki pala ng mga designers. Pero specifically nandun sila sa web eh. And sobrang active sila, kaya may field weavers. May field weavers pa dati, tapos nami-meet ko sila, tapos sobrang mga idol ko sila. So parang, ang dami talaga, ang daming people I look up to. And especially kung naring Ink Surge, parang, when I was a young designer, sobrang fan talaga ako ng work nila. Kasi at that time, sobrang internationally known yung mga web designers ng Philippines eh, na, ayun, mga big time sila lahat. Sila Drew, sila Rex. Tapos parang, yun yung first exposure ko na, uy, ang galing pala maging graphic designer. So, it actually changed my, in a way, yung career, yung thinking ko of my career path. But syempre, after I graduated, parang biglang, hindi pala nag-hire tong mga design even until now, parang ganyan siya. Yung mga design studio, we don't really hire a lot of people, di ba? So, ayun, pumasok ako sa advertising. Yun yung ayokong pasukan na industry. Pero syempre, wala akong pera, kailangan ko magtrabaho. Tapos it was one of the industries that had, I guess, okay naman yung sweldo.
So what agency did you
I
go
worked
into?
in, at that time, yung pangalan, they're still existing now, pero maliit na sila. Pero at that time, sobrang laki nila. Harrison Communication, part of McCann Erickson. So parang, yun yung first job ko. I worked there for 3 years. And sobrang scary siya for me kasi I was enjoying it. And sobrang kinakabahan talaga ako. Sabi ko talaga, ayoko mag-advertising, gusto ko mag-designer, gusto ko maging, kung ano, maging photographer, photojournalist, basta hindi advertising. Tapos yung third year ko na parang, shit, ba't parang masaya to? Parang kasi parang okay naman siya eh. Parang sobrang privileged siyang type of job, di ba? I mean, like also designing na losing schedule, marami kang tayo nami-meet, tas creative siyang industry, hindi naman stricto yung oras. I mean, stricto yung oras for deadlines, but when you come to work, so
you were scared that you might not
Oo,
leave.
sobrang kinabahan ako na hindi ako makalis eh. So, at that time, ako, si Dang, yung girlfriend ko, tapos yung friends ko, sila Burns, Mariel, tapos si Ria, parang nag-uusap-usap na rin kami na to start our own thing na, yun nga, for non-profits. Tapos, may nagkaroon ng opportunity na mag-start kami, nagsumali kami sa competitions, parang, tapos yun, parang, oh, sige, tapos nag-resign ako. Siyempre, yung mga, ba't ka alis? Ganyan. Walang kasiguruhan dyan. Siyempre, yung parents ko, asar na asar din sa akin na, okay na yung trabaho mo. Bakit? Ba't ka alis? So, parang, kaya nga, pag nagtatanong sa akin ng mga question na yan, parang, is it okay to leave my day job? Ganyan. Parang, iisip ko talaga, parang, siyempre, for me, it sort of worked, looking back to it. Pero, sobrang hirap siya. And I think, I even realized na sobrang irresponsible nung ginawa ko. But syempre nung ginawa ko siya, as in all in talaga, balik yung lifestyle ko to very, parang college levels na yung food, group meals parati. As in, committed talaga ako eh. Gagawin ko to. So kaming lahat, we were sort of committed doing that. And yun yung start nung parang design career ko. Kasi after doing advertising, parang biglang dapat all in na doon sa design. Yung, at that time, social design studio na mostly non-profits. And sobrang hirap nun eh. As in, parang tipong 6 months, wala muna kaming sweldo kasi walang client. Tapos parang, non-profit pa yung clients mo, di ba?
So, walang budget yung client.
Budget. So parang, ano to pirasok natin. So, ayun. So parang, ang hirap siya eh. Kaya nga, nowadays, I guess to connect it to the present time, I can see the pressure for young designers to become successful right away. Kasi yung social media, pag nakita mo, kaklase mo, ba't sobrang galing na itong bakit sobrang yaman na niya or sobrang galing niya. At that time, medyo it helped me kasi I don't see what the other people were doing and we're just focused. And what I tell other people na, yun nga, parang kami, as in, siguro 3 years, 4 years, parang crap lang talaga. As in my mind right now, obviously, looking back to it, hindi talaga maganda yung work na ginagawa namin. Kasi parang, kailangan lang kailangan may kliyente, makasurvive. And yun, to help also the organization. Pero syempre at that time, yung experience mo, you always think na magaling ka sa creative. Pero hindi naman talaga totoo yun. I mean, even until now, parang pag gumagawa ka, akala mo maganda yung work mode. Pero pag when you look back to it, parang, hindi.
Pero that's a sign of growth, diba? As a creative, na when you look back at your work, diba?
Syempre, parang sign of growth talaga siya. Pero syempre at that time, akala mo,
ang galing-galing mo.
galing-galing mo. Pero parang, ano ba to? Ano ba yung ginagawa ko? So parang, yun, parang, yan ngayon, hindi ko talaga sila masisi. Kasi sobrang hirap ngayon eh. I mean, you see everyone online.
With social media, you really feel like, and tama ka nga, kasi yung time natin before, parang, the only time you'll hear about what others are doing, pag nagkita-kita kayo.
Kita-kita,
Which is once a month, kasi busy na lahat, starting your own career. So parang, and before that meeting, wala kang pakialam sa kanila. You're just focused on what you're doing.
Yep, diba? Exactly. Unless super exceptional yung mga achievements or projects na yun na nakikita mo sila sa TV or even online. Tapos, pero yun, tama ka. Parang mostly sa events lang talaga siya eh. Sa events pa lang siya makikita. So parang, ngayon, parang minsan pag may interns kami or even young designers asking for advice, parang yun yung challenge talaga eh. Kasi pag graduate mo, ba't parang sobrang galing nitong kaklase ko?
Parang grabe.
Ba't parang 100,000 followers na siya? Bakit ako wala pa? So parang gets ko yung
pressure
ngayon eh. Parang ibang-iba talaga eh. Dati yung pressure ko was kumita ng pera, paano mag-survive yung business, getting clients. I mean, right now, of course, obviously, pressure din siya for everyone. Pero syempre may social pressure pa na are you popular?
You feel like you're being left behind.
Oh, exactly. So,
parang ganitong same age kami, pero ganito.
Yun nga, exactly. Yun yung mga comparison ngayon eh. So, well, even until now, medyo, nakikita ko naman yung stuff na nangyari online, pero ganun din, parang, I mean, tumitingin-tingin, but parang ganun din siya. Minsan na-apektuhan ka rin, di ba? Pero, syempre, looking back to what we've experienced, parang okay lang naman.
Correct.
Parang hindi ako masyadong affected in a way.
So, going back to that time, how did you get your first clients' ideas?
Kaming first client namin at that time, mga referral from friends. I think, if I'm not mistaken, yung first project namin, parang publication yata. So parang, yung mga non-profits kasi yun yung
newsletter.
Yung mahilig mga newsletter, annual report. Siyempre parang, sige, gawin natin yan. Pero siyempre yung mga annual reports, parang, well for me, parang, yung impact mo sa designer, parang hindi masyadong malaki, di ba? So parang, yung nakakakita ng work, okay naman, makikita nila ano yung achievements ng company, pero siyempre ikaw sa designer, minsan inisip mo, gusto mo talaga yung work na maraming matutulungan, gano'n. Siyempre, din siya, I guess, may pagka-naive ka lang din if you're really young. So, yun yung first project namin, publication.
So let's say, for the benefit of those who are starting out, let's say yung first project na yun, if you don't mind me asking, how much did you charge the client or how much did you get paid for that project? If you can still remember.
Maalala ko pa ba yan? Tingin ko, basta hindi malaki, parang, estimate ko siguro baka mga 30, 40K, ganun siguro. Parang medyo marami siyang work. Tapos syempre marami kaming gagawa. So parang pambayad lang yata namin siya ng rent and expenses. walang pangsweldo sa designers. But yun, parang siguro, especially at that time, when we were doing ideals, especially kasi yung kawork namin NGO din, di ba? So, limited din yung budgets nila. So, we can't really...
So, how did you determine what to charge them? I guess yun yung mga madalas na question di ba? Parang, like, may magpapa-bid sa'yo or something, tas parang, how do I price this na tama lang?
My God. Diba? Siguro, kung talking about that first project, parang, ewan ko, nag-invento lang siguro. Kasi wala akong, nang nag-advertising kasi ako, syempre, may experience naman ako, pero hindi ako tumagal doon, hindi nga ako naging creative director, diba? Hanggang art director lang ako. So, I wouldn't really know about
yung
pricing, costing. So, at that time, I think yung isang partner ko rin, si Burns, siya yung nagpa-price eh. So, nag-invento lang talaga kami. So, parang siguro pag tingin ko, parang mukhang mura to, okay to. So, parang, yun, at that time, wala talaga kaming alam. Hindi ko alam, kayo, I'm sure, maraming designers and design studio, nung nagsimula, nag-iimbento lang din siguro.
I remember, similar, I work in advertising, pero hindi ko talaga inisip ang advertising. Marketing communications yung course ko. In my mind, at that time, I really wanted to parang like start my own company. Hindi ko alam doing what, basta feeling ko lang parang I want to start my own company. So I work ako sa advertising. All along, parang nasa sense ko na parang mas branding yung gusto kong talagang linya. Pero wala kasing any branding na usapan before. Basta advertising, marketing, PR, yan na yun. So parang, okay naman. I was in Sachi. Parang happy naman ako with like what I learned. Pero parang yung, pag alam mo kasing hindi ito yung gusto mong gawin, yung, parang medyo na, yung stress na-amplify kasi parang alam mo, ba't ko ginagawa to? Hindi naman ito yung gusto mong gawin.
Exactly.
So parang one day, I just quit. As in literally, one day, I was just working. Bigla nag-type na lang ako ng resignation letter. Print. Sir. As in gano'n. Tapos, anong gagawin ko next? Haba kong mga branding. Wala. I think, gawa na lang ako sarili. Pero hindi ko rin sure, like, paano ko mag-charge? Parang, how do I even, like, tell clients na I can do whatever? Parang gano'n. Nalala ko lang, may, yung dad ko kasi has a manufacturing plant. May clients siya na kailangan magpalit ng label. Sabi ko, sabi mo, nakagagawa, gano'n. So, kinas ko yung isang friend ko na working in advertising. Ako, bro, ikaw mag-design ha. Ako mag-AE. So, magkano sisingil natin? Hindi ko alam. Parang alam ko walang budget eh. Sabi ko, kuripot daw, ganyan. Ayun, sige, sabi mo, kahit 10,000 lang, pwede na yan. Hati na tayo. Ako, sige. So, pag naman yung client, 10,000. Yeah. Tapos parang mga 2 weeks lang namin ginawa. Nakuha ko yung check. Parang, pwede pala. Pwede pala na-approve na. So, parang nung yung time na yun, yung na-realize ko parang actually, baka kaya naman. Parang try na lang. So, yun. I started Antidote June, thinking na within June, makakuha ng client. Madali lang to, ganyan. Pero first client na nakuha ko, October pa. So, ilang months yun. I was just calling, emailing, pa-refer sa friend. Tapos wala makuha ang project. Pero kami kasi before, when we started, since hindi kasi ako talaga designer, I was working with mga freelance lang before. But what I wanted to do kasi was work with companies na gagawa kami ng brand for them. So, ang in ko is, sige, may existing brand ka, I'll redesign it. Tapos, while we're working on that, biglang magpipitch ako ng, gusto mo gawa tayong ganitong brand, ibang category naman or ano. So, at that time, yung start namin was actually, the very first client we signed, I think paid us 35,000.
Oh, wow.
Pero parang dinakay ko gawing retainer. So parang ko, una 6 months, ganyan. Huwag naman yung client. So parang, pero ang daming services, parang all in talaga. So parang teka lang. Parang, minsan, may mga months na parang, grabe naman araw. Parang wala na ibang ginawa ko, hindi tong client na to, diba? Pero, parang, okay rin naman in terms of, I guess, if you're starting out, what's important is also to build kasi your portfolio, diba? And your experience din. Kasi nga, it's hard din naman to get clients kung wala ka pang mapakita. So, I guess, yung magiging advice for people who are starting out, yung don't be too idealistic sa simula na hindi kailangan ganito yung fee or else I will not accept. Diba? Parang sometimes you really have to get your feet wet, diba? Get a few projects in. Ganun.
And I think it's more of yung how you see the value of things. Kasi when you're starting out, and even until now, kunwari for us, while there are projects na, kunwari, mababa yung rates, tapos parang gusto mo namang gawin kasi maganda rin siya, tapos gusto ng team gawin. So parang sometimes may mga compromises na gano'n na we can charge our usual rates kasi syempre walang budget yung client. But we compromise kasi gusto namin siya gawin. So parang, I think, true siya, not just for here, but in other countries as well. So when I meet yung mga designer friends ko na nakaka-work ko or na-meet ko when doing projects, parang gano'n din naman eh. So parang hindi siya
local situation.
Oh, hindi siya local situation. Actually, pricing is a super international situation na there's no single answer to it. Siguro ako kung if I answer it, parang it's more of yun nga, like what I said. Parang if you see value in it, then yun nga, parang how do you work around it, diba? So, kasi when I was younger, obviously, yung mga projects, walang budget, but I see it as something, like what you said, na I can put in my portfolio. So parang, okay, yun yung value for me. Madagdagan ko yung portfolio ko. So, pag nakita ko naman yung project, parang hindi naman siya masyadong valuable. So, maybe I'll charge it the rate na gusto ko. Tapos parang, yun. Yung value ng project na yun for me is to earn more to earn from that project. So, parang ganun siya. So, especially if you're starting, parang minsan wala talaga eh, na, diba, wala namang lalapit sa'yo.
I think one of the challenges kasi is, how do you determine pag sinabi ng client na wala kaming budget eh? Totoo bang walang budget?
Oh, yun nga, exactly. Hindi mo rin alam eh, di ba? Sometimes, pero siguro, kunwari, for you, for me, and for the other studios who've been working for quite some times, sometime, parang minsan malalaman mo na lang din di ba? Parang magigets mo na wala talagang budget.
Talagang wala.
Tapos parang,
Hindi
eto,
negotiating
mukhang may
tactic.
budget talaga so parang, ngayon mas naging I guess, hindi naman stricto, but syempre tinitingnan din namin ano na yung mga ginawa ng mga client, di ba? Kasi, minsan makikita mo talaga maraming pera yung brand na yun. Tapos parang, pagdating nila sa'yo, parang
they're just allocating it for
something else. So parang magigets mo naman, naggumastos kayo for this, pero bakit dito ayaw mo gumastos, di ba? So for something like that, kami, hindi kayo mag-give in na, yun na yung
I
final.
think especially with our line of work na we're about developing the brand. It's not short term for this campaign lang. The brand is gonna be ideally for long term. So yung value ng work really has to be appreciated. What do you think is I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. You're one of the top, if not the top designer in the country.
Hindi totoo.
What do you think is what do you think distinguishes you from other creatives? Like, what's your secret sauce or what, ano ba
Hindi ko alam kung ano yung secret sauce ko, but tingin ko lang, nakakatawa kasi yung question mo, di ba? I've been working with this, yung designer rin siya, na friend ko rin, si Felix from Singapore, yung Anonymous, yung design studio, na we've been talking about this, na parang, ano yung iba, siguro parang ma-realize mo lang siya after doing it for quite some time, and then, siguro looking back, parang what made some things work. Siguro na-realize ko na kasi he asked me this question na, ano yung pinaka-most enjoyable part for you when designing something? And obviously, yung design proper, exciting siya. Pero sa akin, yung pinaka-exciting for me, na-realize ko, sobrang weird, is presenting to client, convincing client to say yes. So parang, kasi hindi nababawasan yung excitement dun sa part na yun I don't know if you have that same experience. Kasi parang, syempre, when we come up with something, designers always think na maganda yung ginawa mo, diba? Pero syempre, kailangan may convincing client na maganda talaga yung ginawa mo or walang kwenta yung ginawa mo, diba? So parang yung aspect na yun, yung part na yun of trying to convince.
Getting the buy-in.
Yeah, getting the buy-in for the vision, for the idea, for the design itself. Parang sobrang exciting siya for me na sobrang weird lang siya for someone, sobrang introvert kasi ako and minsan on-off ko lang siya. Na for someone who's an introvert, parang isip ko, parang ko nagagawa yung presenting things to client. Pero yun, usually after every presentation or every event, sobrang pagod na pagod ako. And yun yung isa. Tapos yung other thing na na-realize ko na yung industry na sobrang hindi ko gustong-gusto na nagtrabaho ko doon, advertising, di ba? Sobrang laki pala ng influence niya sa akin when I started designing. Kasi yun yung, I think, hindi naman siya secret sauce kasi everyone does it. Pero yun yung naging burden ko sa sarili ko na every time I do something, parang inisip ko kailangan may idea. Kasi every design project, minsan inisip ko lang, alam mo, gawa lang tayo. Gusto ko lang wordmark lang siya na maganda tingnan or minsan gusto ko gumawa na medyo artsy lang na design piece. Yeah. But when we start doing it, parang
you start questioning,
parang,
what's the point?
Exactly. Parang, pero weird siya. The reason why I say it's a burden, kasi parang minsan hindi naman kailangan talaga yung gusto kong gawin. Pero parang yun yung thing na naging siya. For me, maybe it's a secret sauce, but it's something that defined me siguro sa designer. Yung, kailangan may idea. And sobrang ironic lang kasi parang tingin ko yung thinking na yun came from yung advertising na background ko for 3 years. Yun.
Like when you talk about presentations and you say you enjoy that, do you have like one most memorable presentation?
Oh wow. I won't mention na lang kung
the client. Sige.
Pero sobrang siguro hindi ko alam kung na-experience mo to, but if you've done designing, kasi ako I started designing, hindi kasama yung advertising siguro since 2006. So parang 13 years na independently. Parang sorry, may helicopter. After doing it for more than a decade, may certain point na yung presentation seems like it's the same, 'di ba? Parang wala, parang medyo muscle memory. Pero we had this project medyo recent siya. Na, oh my God, it was the first time in a long time na, as in, nanginginig ako dun sa presentation. Kasi one, yung presentation was with the president of the company. Medyo malaki siyang company. Tapos, two, I was presenting something na wala akong alam. As in, interior yung kasi parang, nakakatawa siya. Kasi, brand, yung strategy, yung brand, etc. Yun lang talaga yung present ko. So, yun alam na alam ko na. So, confident ako dun sa part na yun. But then, kailangan pala isama yung presentation. And for this project, parang na-late lang yung interiors team. So, in-email, finorward muna yung slides. Syempre, kailangan na mag-start.
Yeah.
So, sobrang na-affect talaga ako. Kasi, if i-present ko yung interiors, tapos, nung nag-present na ako ng branding work, kinakabahan na ako kasi sabi ko darating na sa interior. Hindi ko alam paano explain. I mean, alam ko naman yung idea ng interior. Kasi, I guess nakatulong siya kasi alam ko naman yung idea sa interior. Pero, oh my God, nung nag-scroll down na ako ng mga space, sabi ko, ano nangyari sa space to? So, syempre, explain ko na, ito, ano siya, ito, ganito. Tapos pag-click ko, ay, yung pala yun, mali yung... Pero syempre, maganda naman yung design ng interior. So, it really helped na sobrang ganda ng interior, ganun. Tapos, as in, medyo, inano ko lang siya, winingit ko lang siya, tapos, dinaan ko na lang na parang, I talk more about how the branding parang connected to the space, ganun. So, yung space itself, ayun. Tapos, after na meet, medyo good story lang siya to tell kasi na-approve yung work, di ba? Pero inisip ko parang, oh my God, sobrang kasalanan ko ito buong project pag hindi na-approve. So, yun, as in, one of the most memorable yun. Kasi, parang sometimes, even if you've been working for a long time as a designer na minsan tingin mo, kayang-kaya mo na lahat. Pero darating yung point na may mga certain situations na parang, oh my God, parang, parang sobrang humbling siya, back to earth ka talaga. Kinakabahan talaga ako eh. Kasi kahit yung mga kasama, yung mga client, iba, kita nila ako na nanginginig ako eh, nag-click ako ng next slide. Tapos minsan hindi ko alam ano yung next slide.
So nag-explain ka na biglang sa next slide pa pala yan.
Oo, yun, exactly. As in, ganun mismo. So explain ko, ito yung balak na. Pag-click ko, ay, ito na pala. So parang, oh shit. Parang, I mean, parang learning experience din siya for me, I guess, na sometimes kasi you think na it's two separate things, diba? Yung design of the identity or graphic design and the space. Pero most of the time, connected sila to each other. So, parang for me, I-realize ko na parang, syempre, if we're working on a project na may partner akong interior designer, parang it's best to see the progress or even to ask them. Yan, para at least alam ko ano sabi ko.
Just in case malate sila.
So, yun.
In all your years, running your own firm, diba? What's been the most challenging part of it?
Most challenging part? Hindi ko alam kung same sa'yo to, but oh my God, yung admin work is the most challenging
actually
part.
The same.
And it has nothing to do with design.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the reasons why not a lot of people start their own thing or design studio. Kasi parang sobrang laki talaga siyang aspect of the work na madidistract ka talaga. Lalo na pag, month na pala to ng bayaran ng taxes and renewal ng mga
permits and
yung renewal ng mga permits, as in yung month na yan, sobrang unproductive ko as a designer. Kasi parang, I mean, magagaling naman yung mga designers ko, so okay lang na they can help me in that part na yung designing aspect. Pero sobrang distracted ako itong mga month ng renewal. I mean, meron naman kaming accountant or admin person who works on it. Pero syempre, involved ka rin dun sa part na yun eh. So, yun yung... I think it's one of the things why people don't want to start their own thing. Na-appreciate ko talaga na panakita ko ng young designers or even old designers who want to do their own thing. Kasi parang grabe yung commitment talaga eh. I mean, kunwari kayo, di ba? You've been at it for 11 years. Imagine mo 11 years, 11 times every year. Work on admin, renewal, permits, ganun. Tapos, ang hiling pa mag-update, tapos hindi mo alam ano yung nagbago that year. So, yun for me. Sorry.
The admin work, I think it's really very challenging for creatives. Parang, you want to focus on the creative work, pero the admin stuff is sort of what enables you to do it.
Exactly. So, di ba kung it's very important also kasi if you don't do the admin stuff, hindi ka legit na business, di ba? Parang kami yung business kung hindi ka... And I think for us, nung nag-aaral kasi ako sa UP, parang, I think hindi lang naman UP, but schools in general, maybe except for like Ateneo or LaSalle, parang when you're trained to become an employee most of the time. You know? Parang you come out, you work in an industry, and in general siya, parang ganun yung school na there are certain industries that they need manpower, even creative or even a different type of course. Pero you go there, you're part of the cog, you're a cog, and then pero nung nag-start kami ng studio, wala talaga kami alam sa business, di ba? Attend kaya ng mga workshop, mga lecture, ganyan pala yan. So parang wala talaga kaming alam. And I think, kunwari hindi ko alam if sa mga creative courses nila meron, pero in general, si Ateneo and si LaSalle, parang most of their students parang pwede naman magtrabaho, pero may mga entrepreneurial na...
There's exposure to that side of the...
na parang maging entrepreneur ka. Here sa Philippines, parang malaki talaga yung tulong ng entrepreneurship in general, not just for middle class or upper class, but also in other classes na inaano. Kasi ngayon, may mga projects kami na tumutulong ako, yung studio sa kunwari mga design center or SciTem na to train help small brands na as in SME isa lang may-ari, mom and pop shop na how to consulting lang na for free on how to improve it. So parang nakikita mo talaga na a lot of yung people here in the Philippines look at yung entrepreneurship as something to help them economically. Kasi yung mga iba, syempre, walang educational background. Paano man sa mga katrabaho, di ba? So sometimes they make all their own products. And yun, minsan kami sobrang game kami rin to help.
Nice.
Yung nagkakaroon na ng problem sa part na yung practical aspect na of design. Syempre, kunwari kami, parang kahit sobrang i-discount namin yung rate ng design, mahal pa rin siya.
Mahal pa rin for them,
So parang, in my mind, the best way to do it and the most sustainable way to do it is for them to work with designers kung saan sila. Kasi last year, parang pumunta ako sa Batangas, pumunta ako sa Visayas, sa Mindanao, parang to meet yung mga magbigay ng talk and to this. Dapat nga next time ikaw yung pumunta na rin volunteer kita. Kasi hindi, parang sobrang relevant yung sa'yo kasi you have your own brand.
Correct.
Ako wala naman akong sarili kong brand. I mean, we've been very involved in most of the projects that we do. Pero ikaw mismo, may sarili kang products na I think that would help them. Pero yung sinasabi ko lang sa kanila, it's one thing to invite designers from Manila, from Cebu, to give talks, but it's another thing to ask them to design for you. So ako, yung suggestion ko talaga is, you have local designers. Baka sila yung pwede kong tulungan, and then they work with you. Kasi at least yung economics might work. Kasi syempre, yung standard of living, a bit lower, and they're based there, makakausap nila.
Tama.
Diba? Parang, kung galing dito yung designer, parang hindi ko sila makakusap all the time. Correct. I don't think I'll be able to come up with the best solution for the problems compared
the
to
level of involvement will be Actually,
So,
that's a nice way of looking at it. It's like you have to empower the designers there. They have to learn from you so that they can do the work for their community there.
Na some of them are nagde-design na rin talaga naman sila in some capacity. So for me, it's more of just to see, okay, maybe give some advice, di ba? Pero it's their own thing din na makita.
That's nice. Sige, let me know. I'm game to do that.
Kasi volunteer na mga kung sino-sino. Pero
kasi that's also partly why I'm doing this podcast. Kasi parang like I think I have access to people like you, and I feel like like we have this shared values naman of wanting to use our talents to help the country. Like in my way, I look at branding kasi as a way to really uplift our economy because we're not just we shouldn't just be selling products or raw materials, which is something as a country we're used to, diba? Raw materials natin, we have a lot of natural resources, export natin yan. Even down to tao nga, we say that's our number one export, OFW. But that's our talent, diba? So, parang what I would encourage mga entrepreneurs ganun is to create something na ideally your market is not just here. Diba? Kaya namin ginawa yung Lago. Yung backstory niyan was we were having a hard time convincing clients of the value ng branding. Na they can create something here, they can export it. Parang feeling nila, basta just copy this brand, do it cheaper. Okay na kami. Basta hindi, if you can create a concept na ganyan, sabi na, hindi, that doesn't work, that's too idealistic. So parang, it's almost like a joke, ginawa namin yung lago. Sige, gawa nga tayo, beach blanket. Parang ano ba yung market ng beach blanket? I mean, it's very small, di ba? So, gawa tayong beach blanket na ganito yung concept, sand repellent, ganyan. Now, we're not just targeting beach lovers here, but, beach lovers in general. So, ginawa namin yun. Parang nag-work siya so well that imbis na gamitin namin siyang case study for the client. Parang sabi ko, actually, ito na lang.
I mean, considering yung buong Pilipinas, puno ng beach, di ba? I mean, island siya, maraming tubig. So, medyo malaki talaga yung potential niya.
Tsaka sa case study, yung lago, parang nakakatuwa ka kasi it's really na, when I give talks about lago, I always tell people, parang if you think about it, it's just a beach blanket, di ba? I mean, ano ba naman yung beach blanket? Pero, you get people from all over the world, pag nakita nila yung lago in an airport here or in Japan or in some of our countries where we have distributors, pag nakita nila, parang automatic, I get it, sand repellent, okay yan.
Exactly, yeah.
Parang mabilis maintindihan, they'll buy it. So parang yun yung gusto ko sanang like more entrepreneurs, more brand creators here think in that sense na hindi mo kailangan maging big conglomerate to go global. Especially now, it's easy. May Instagram page ka lang, you can really market to anyone in the world. So, yeah, I think that's a good advocacy that you're doing. Na you're empowering, these entrepreneurs na they have to use design, diba? So, may iba naman tayo, Dan. Do you experience self-doubt?
I think lahat ng, hindi ko alam sa iba, pero lahat ng, in my mind, parang lahat ng designers, parang parati siya, naiisip. Ako parati siya, parang...
In what way?
Kasi pag may ginawa ka, minsan, sorry, padaanin ko lang yung train namin. Para kaming yung illusion namin, parang New York, parang...
May train, may helicopter. I'm sure daming plane dito, diba? Yeah.
Helicopter, Pero minsan, naman, nice ambience. Sorry, back to your question. Self-doubt. Parang it's always a push and pull of yung confidence mo. And then, of having been designing for quite some time. And also yung doubt sa sarili mo na maganda ba yung ginawa ko or tama ba yung ginawa ko. And I think maybe in most times parang you can say na parang negative siya, but for me parang it helps keep me grounded siguro as a designer, as a creative person. Kasi parang sometimes you always think na magaling ka, minsan may confidence ka na, yeah! Tapos parang minsan may isip ko, tama ba itong ginagawa ko? So parang it balances all those things out. And sometimes it makes for better work, I guess. And on the other side of it, I think lahat talaga ng creatives always have this always think na parang, totoo ba? Totoo ka bang creative or something? Ano to?
Is it parang imposter syndrome?
Imposter syndrome. Parang parati talaga all the time. Parang after mo magawa, parang tama ba yan? Magaling ba talaga ako? Or tama ba yung ginawa ko? Or original ba yung ginawa ko? Or okay ba yun? So parang, siya, I think, parang, it's always constant, I guess. And, in a way, it helped me to become better, siguro, all the time as a designer, as an illustrator, or as a creative person.
So, you think it's something na common naman? Hindi lang...
Well, assumption lang siya. So, hindi ko alam kung ikaw self-doubt ka or si Rap na self-doubt siya. So, parang ako na, parang talaga siya.
Sometimes parang you feel like, ako lang yata yung ganito eh. Parang, di ba?
Minsan siguro parang, kasi syempre pag nakikita mo na yung work ng iba, or nakikita mo yung output ng iba, not just from here, but elsewhere, parang, it seems like, it's always parang confident parati yung mga design studio, di ba? Pero you never really see yung
struggles nila.
Yung struggles. If you think kung maganda talaga siyang work or not. I mean, medyo, it's not a super big problem, I guess, compared to what's happening in the world. But parang, as a creative person, parang it's always constant yung thinking na maganda ba or tama ba yung ginagawa ko.
Yeah. I think that's a healthy way of using it siguro na. I mean, if you can't avoid the feeling na ganun, parang you use it na lang to fuel you to make sure na you're doing better than before.
So ako parang ganun talaga. As in, parang ganun yung role niya for me na parang, so parang you try to become better. But syempre, hindi ko alam kung sustainable siya. Kasi syempre, pagbalik ko, pag natapos ko na, ito na naman, gagawin mo na naman siya. But, medyo, I guess it helps, sabi ko kanina, it keeps you grounded, I guess, as a creative person, as a designer.
Actually, that's one of the things I really respect about you then. You're, for somebody who's accomplished a lot, you're so humble. I think,
self-doubt lang yun. Hindi lang, wala akong confidence ako.
Hindi naman. As someone who's always looking to, improve, who do you look up to in the field of graphic design?
So, parang yun, syempre, I'm sure most of the designers would have yung designers, siguro yung mga parang tipong easy answer, syempre yung mga designers na sobrang idol ko talaga, like sila Michael Beirut, or sila yung mga Japanese architects, sila Tadao Ando, mga designers. But syempre yun yung isip ko, parang everyone idolizes a lot of like the really good designers. Like, diba? Pero yung one of the things that always inspire me, I guess, are the designers that I know na parang I have a relationship with. So parang tipong, kayo, yung Serge, friends ko na designers sa ibang bansa na nakaka-interact ko talaga. Kasi parang you always see them doing work. Tapos pag may nakita ka magandang work, parang, paano ko tatalunin to? Parang, paano ako mas magiging magaling sa kanila? Parang ganun parati yung, parang healthy siya. Hindi naman siya tipong,
it's healthy competition.
Parang hindi naman siya tipong gusto ko kayo talunin lahat. Parang it's more of, ba't niya ginawa yan? Sobrang ganda. So parang naisip mo parati na, how do we come up with something like that, or maybe better than that, but then you'll realize hindi pala. So parang maganda siyang parang it's always nice for me yung growth ko and even the studio as a design studio. So it's always come from looking at yung people I know, I have a relationship with, and ano yung ginagawa nila. Kasi parang minsan pag tiningnan mo talaga yung mga super idol mo, parang medyo malayo. Parang minsan paano kung punta doon? Pero even naman if super idol mo sila, parang pag na-meet mo sila in person, tapos nakikita mo yung mga ginagawa nila, nakikita mo yung challenges nila, sometimes, yun nga, parang it makes them human, I guess.
Yeah.
Parang kunwari si Eric Marinovich, I don't know if you know him, but pero yung type guy siya, yung mga strength in numbers sa Golden State ginagawa niya. So parang when I go to San Francisco, nami-meet kami parati, tapos pumunta ako sa studio niya. Studio mate niya si Jessica Hish. Tapos parang pag pinapakita niya yung work niya, tapos kinukwenta niya yung mga challenges niya, parang it becomes human, and parang inisip mo parang, nangyayari. Parang it's almost like parang kaya mong gawin yung ginagawa nila.
It's more relatable.
Oh, exactly.
Diba?
Tama.
Than yung parang titan of industry.
Parang paano ako pupunta doon, yung mga sobrang magagaling na yan. So parang ganun siya. Parang, for example nga, si Felix, yung sa Anonymous, parang I don't know if you're familiar with his work, parang he's based in Singapore, tapos magaling sa design studio. And parang yung recently may ginawa sila for Design Film Festival ng mga tote bags. I don't know if you've seen this. Parang butas-butas siya. Kasi kusama yung screening nila. So gumawa sila ng mga tote bag na may polka dots, tapos butas-butas yung tote bag. Pero maganda yung pagkagawa eh. So parang kunwari, pag nakikita ko yun, minsan, parang ba't niya ginawa yun? Sobrang ganda. So minsan, isip ko, gawa rin tayo ng tote bag. So parang siya eh, parang kasi hindi mo siya magagawa. For example, si Michael Beirut may ginawa siya. Parang isip ko, pag ginawa mo siya, parang hindi masyado malapit yung relationship. Pag ginawa mo siya, pag ginawa sila ng iba, nila Rust, nila KM, nila Acid House, parang it's something na, yun nga, mas relatable for me na tingin ko, mas challenge ako gawin, I guess. So parang, yun siya. Parang siyang, always a good motivation for me.
I like that. Actually, I can relate kasi parang a lot of the new designers na nakikita ko is through you. So pag nakita kong fina-follow mo or may pinost kang about this designer or this okay yan. Fina-follow ni Dan, I'll check it out. Doon ko nakikita yung, okay, galing . So, I can relate. I think it's definitely healthy competition, especially since tayo parang, like, when I was with Russ nga about a month ago for, parang yun nga din yung, we were reminiscing this a time now, we had a parang round table talk sa Blueprint.
Sa Blueprint.
So parang it was very, that's one of my favorite moments ng early years ng Antidote, na seeing other guys like you na you're starting out also, tas you're doing other things na hindi ko naisip na yun nga, bakit niya ginawa, bakit ganun yung approach mo, pero ang galing, parang hindi ko maisip na ganun. At the same time, parang when we look at each other's works, na ang galing ito, tas just hearing how you approached it, parang yun nga, may halong inspiration and konting, yung parang healthy na inggit na
parang naging competitive ka rin in a way.
So I think it helps elevate everyone's game, di ba? So,
and sometimes for me, kunwari here sa Hydra, pag nakikita ko yung ginagawa nila Ink Surge or Acid House, parang or sila KM, parang minsan inisip mo, gusto ko siya i-try, tapos minsan makikita mo, hindi pala namin kaya tong certain things na ginagawa nila. Kasi parang iba-iba yung culture namin dito, and I would assume all the other studios have different cultures, and especially for most of us, yung studios natin, hindi tayo parang ad agency level na malaki na minsan yung culture nawawala kasi because of the scale. Parang may mga certain things talaga na hindi mo kayang gawin, na kayang gawin ng ibang studio, na maybe may kaya kang gawin na hindi nila kayang gawin. So parang may mga ganong things kasi parang I realized, parang having worked with other studios or designers, both here kasi sa ibang bansa, parang it's very dependent on personnel. Parang, for one, it's dependent on the founder, on the head of the studio, and it's also dependent on the team that's there. Kasi parang kung wala yung skill na yon or wala yung certain personalities na yon, parang na-affect siya yung output na-affectuhan talaga siya. So parang kaya siya sobrang fun for me, I guess, looking at the work of other studios. Kasi may mga certain things na kung nakita ko, yan, kaya nilang gawin yan. So parang, kunwari, itatry namin siya gawin, parang, hindi bagay sa atin. Or minsan yung sinasabi ko kanina na burden na parang kailangan lagyan ng ano ba, pa-smart aspect of it. Parang minsan, may mga things talaga na hindi mangyayari kasi because of that thing na iniisip ko na that should always be there. But, yun nga, parang every studio, parang may mga certain things na yung philosophy nila is mas ganito. And may mga certain work na magagawa yung studio na yun ay hindi magiging katulad ng other studios. Kasi because of the personnel and the personalities behind it.
You mentioned kanina yung scale, no? And earlier you mentioned this, I don't know if it's, the correct word is fear, or yung fear of parang scaling up.
Baka fear.
Where do you think that comes from, or why? Is it more of wanting that parang intimate na you're sort of parang in control of all the projects, or
I guess it's more
or is it more of the admin side?
Tingin ko parang it's all of those things. Parang, and it's also because of looking at yung mga, well, most of it online lang naman, of the other studios that I've seen na nag-scale ng malaki. Tapos parang ang dami talagang yung trend na nakikita ko usually na, well, hindi ko naman nakita in person, but from online, from videos is, yun nga, parang a small studio gets acquired by a big company or gets funded ng sobrang laking pera, and then they scale up. Tapos parang after usually 3 or 5 years, yung founders aalis, tapos magsa-start ng maliit na studio na sila lang ulit. So parang na-realize ko, parang okay, parang hindi yata kasi siya. Kasi parang pag biglang lumaki talaga siya, parang may mga certain things, like what you said also, na hindi mo na wala ka ng masyadong
involvement sa process.
Kasi kunwari, even if for a lot of projects I still design, may mga projects talaga na yung mga sila Joe, Rax, Craig, sila yung nagli-lead, pero nakikita ko yung project, bibigyan ng suggestion, tapos minsan nagde-design din ako para ipakita sa nila ano yung naisip ko. Pero at least involved pa rin ako sa buong process. So parang naisip ko kung kunwari maging 20 plus or 30 plus, hindi ko alam paano, yung 20 or 30 plus, hindi pa nga super laki nga yata yun eh. Pero imagine mo, maging 50 ka na, di ba, 100. Parang paano makakarating sa ganung karaming tao yung gusto mong sabihin, di ba? So parang, yun, I guess there's, yung sinabi mo na fear, it's actually real for me. na parang nahirapan talaga ako makita siya na lalaki ng ganun kasi parang mababawasan yung involvement ko siguro as a creative person or yun, in the project. Kayo, gano'n ka naman kayo karami?
Actually, we're in the office, we're about 13, I think.
Pero sobrang dami yung ginagawa. As in, I mean, may mga brands kayo talaga na brands eh. So,
like, out of the 13, at least half are more of the admin operation side.
Yeah.
May accounting, gano'n. So
yung creative niyo.
parang mga nasa 4.
Wow. So, small studio lang din talaga din kayo. Oh. Ang hirap talaga eh, no? Parang,
I think yung challenge kasi is how do you grow without losing, medyo dramatic to say, pero parang yung soul
yung identity mo talaga.
Yung identity ng company or yung how you approach yung creativity. Kasi syempre, parang, di ba sabi niya, parang if you scale, yung inverse niya is you lose control. So you have to let go.
Yeah.
Pero sometimes parang, I think it's hard na since we're approaching it from a creative standpoint.
Yeah,
We're creating something. So parang ayaw mong, paano kung, you let go tapos kung saan marating yung brand na mali na or parang, especially kung tingin mo sa brand mo, parang anak mo din. Parang ganun.
I think ganun talaga yung challenge sa kanya. Parang tama yung sinabi mo yun na we're looking at it from a creative point of view. But kunwari, for me, personally, parang wala akong ibang lens na pwedeng gamitin for a lot of things eh. Kasi parang creative talaga yung lens ko every time I look at anything like a brand, a business, or a project, whatever. Kahit nga, diba, parang mga UAP stuff na nagsusupport ko. Creative pa rin yung lens na pagtingin ko sa kanya na sport siya. Wala siyang kinalaman sa design or whatever. Pero yung lente ko talaga, parang yun yung point of view ko parang sa creative. So parang hirap din talaga i-let go siya. Pero on the other side of it naman, parang yun naman din naman, I guess, yung strength natin, di ba? When, kunwari, ikaw, gumawa ka ng brand mo, syempre yun yung strength mo eh. Creative ka eh. Tapos parang branding studio ka eh. So parang yun yung nakatulong din dun sa brand mo, kaya siya gumanda, di ba? I guess, siya.
Parang it's really parang I think ongoing struggle. How do you keep growing without losing what made you special?
Yeah, exactly. Parang yun yung talaga, yun yung constant challenge talaga sa kanya. Hindi ko alam if mararating mo yung answer to that, diba? To that challenge or to that question or to that thing.
But you mentioned UANP, no? You work on this great project of
UAP.
Yung rebranding of UP. So how did that come about? Did you have to pitch?
So how did it come out? Sobrang nakakatawa siya. Parang hindi naman lahat ng ginagawa namin parang joke lang, no? Pero parang meron kasing rebrand na lumabas, I think na for UP, na it was done by someone else. Tapos as in, oh my God, totally na-bash talaga siya. Kasi yung mga taga-UP hiling makipag-away. Pero I mean, parang gano'n yung personality na mga ideological differences. Ang dami, I guess kasi encouraging debate all the time. So, maganda naman siya kasi na-exercise yung isip mo. No? So, after ginawa yun, nagjo-joke kami lahat sa studio na, naku, bukas tatawag to sa atin, papatulong to. So, parang tawa-tawa lang kami. Tapos parang next day, ganun talaga yung nangyari. May mga alumni na, na hindi ko sila kilala, pero may mga common friends na, tulungan niyo naman kami. Rebrand natin yung UP Fighting Maroons kasi yun nga, magsa-start na yung season, tapos kami UP yung host. Tapos parang, kailangan ayusin natin kasi nagwawala yung everyone. So, syempre, ginawa namin siya. As in, super exciting timeline nun eh. Parang 1.5 to 2 weeks, parang gano'n na yung timeline namin to kasi mag-launch na yung UAP na kaming host eh. So, hindi na kami nag-pitch. Parang yung pitch namin, isa na lang. As in, pinag-usapan namin, kausap namin yung mga athletes, tinignan namin yung mga sinasabi ng mga tao. And, yun, nag-commit lang kami dun sa isang logo. Tapos, si AJ Di Marukot, madami kami kasama dun. So, yung Plus63, si AJ Di Marukot, si Kay Aranzanzo, and si Mandy Reyes, si Pete Jimenez. So, marami kami nagtulong to, si Raf Gibani. Kasi, maiksi na yung timeline. So, pinresent namin, tapos nagustuhan nila, tapos ginamit yung identity. So, parang ganun lang siya, medyo, hindi siya, as, I guess, cinematic kasi we wanted it to be. Pero ganun lang siya, kabilis. Tapos parang ni-launch namin, inayos namin system. Siyempre, nung launch, boom, as in, daming galit na galit din. Pero I guess hindi siya as negative as the first one. Eto may defenders din naman. So parang medyo half and half siya.
The negative is it coming more from like not wanting change?
I think the funny part is yung UP as an institution, merong branding and identity na talaga siya. Pero the athletic team never had. So parang for the longest time, even when I was still a student, they were using yung oblation as the identity for the athletic team. Pero nagkaka-problem yung UP kasi hindi siya yung symbol, school symbol siya, hindi siya symbol ng athletic team. And saka yung athletic team, Manila lang siya eh. Kunwari yung Cebu, Davao, hindi sila fighting, I mean, they don't use the Fighting Maroon terms. Pero syempre, supporter sila ng Fighting Maroons. Pero may mga teams yata sila na iba-iba rin yung pangalan eh. So, UP talaga siya, pang Manila siya. Parang yung Ateneo Blue Eagles, I think yung ibang Ateneo, hindi ko alam kung Blue Eagles sila. So parang ganoon siya, parang inimbento lang siya for the UP. So yung UP, kailangan magkaroon ng thing yung Fighting Maroon. So yun yung ginawa namin. So I think, actually yung primary na point of contention was yung fist kasi left siya. So parang, I guess yung challenge is parang, totoo din naman yung sinasabi na hindi naman lahat ng estudyante sa UP leftist na aktivista. Pero syempre nung nag-uusap kami nung lahat from UP and even for us internally, parang if you use the right fist, parang mas hindi talaga siya yun. Kasi parang, di ba, pag right, di ba, parang rightist ka. Parang mas hindi siya yung school, kahit hindi naman lahat left, parang mas better siyang representation ng school. More than the right fist. Kasi hindi ka naman pwedeng, napag-usapan pa ngayon, may nag-comment pa na, hindi naman sa creative na, pwede bang maging fist na hindi mo alam kung right, left or right? Parang hindi ba? Parang sabi ko, sobrang hindi posible yan. Parang natin gagawin, pag ginano mo yung, di ba? Parang pag nakagano siya, kahit nakaganyan, alam mo na left or right siya. Di ba? Wala ka talagang, magkukommit ka talaga. So, pero sobrang happy kami kasi even yung administration, yung chancellor, yung everyone in UP na, I guess yung administration side, tsaka even the teams, parang supported it. Kasi di ba, ang daming branding stuff ngayon na pag nagwala yung community, next day, back down agad. Pero syempre, pag sinasabi ko yun, parang, yung sa amin, maiksi pa nga 2 weeks pa nga. Pero syempre, duguan din siya na 2 weeks. Na, imagine mo may ibang brand projects that takes months to do it, diba? So parang you have to commit to that and trust the process. And I think here, and in general, in branding project, parang first 2 days lang naman yan magulo. Tapos parang next week, parang wala nang comment. Eh. So ako as a designer and I guess as a creative person, parang it was one of the it's one of my highlights siguro as a designer, yung project na yun. Kasi as in, wow, parang may project pa ba nakakabahan ako? Kunwari, yung reaction, di ba, na paglabas ng project na yun sa dami nung... Nakakatawa yun kasi birthday ko pa yun nung nilaunch namin. Wow. Tapos parang nung birthday kami, lahat ng mga friends ko, even yung ibang designers kasi usually nagpapasurprise sila parati dati pag yung birthday. Tapos lahat ng mga designers pupunta. Tapos parang, putang ina, Dan, ito yung sinabi nila. So parang, ito talaga, birthday ko talaga. So parang, nasaya siya, medyo stressful din siya. Stressful, nasaya naman, and yun, eventually, wala naman siya. Tapos parang sobrang nakakatawa pa. Kasi to see how extreme si mga nangyayari, di ba? Parang, syempre ngayon, specifically yung basketball team and in some cases yung volleyball team ng UP ngayon, parang they're doing really well, di ba? So parang, may mga iba na kinocredit pa dun sa design. So parang, okay, nagbumaliktad na siya. Na parang, I mean, in almost everything that we worked on, if the brand becomes successful, parang siya pinadadala yung design part, di ba? Pero obviously, it's about the product and it's not...
It's a combination.
It's a combination.
Pero I think, for the purpose of this conversation, we'll credit it to the design.
Yeah, so parang ano lang siya. Sobrang memorable siya for me. I guess, in a way, parang the design part, the identity part, the typeface na nire-design namin, parang I guess it showed people na may nagbago dun sa teams. Kasi before, wala talaga eh. Walang identity, walang design. So parang after 3-4 years na consistent yung use ng design, na nakikita mo talaga na yun yung logo or logo type parati sa mga uniform, nakikita ng mga tao na may consistency. So parang I guess, parang it had a role to play.
Yeah.
I mean, in a lot of things, diba? Even for the products that you design or you develop. Parang in creative and design, may role talaga siya to play.
I think, I think it really helps kasi it gives people sort of like an icon or a symbol to rally behind, diba?
Exactly.
So even if the design didn't necessarily make the players better,
Yeah, exactly.
pero parang make inspiration din, diba? Kaya I think yung, I'm not sure kung sa previous talk mo to or something, parang like you talk about designing for like yung mga cities, even yung mga road signs or mga ganun. I think malaking tulong yung ganun na you see it being updated, parang nakaka-inspire din sa community, di ba?
Yeah. Na parang pag nakikita talaga nila may bago. But obviously, yung change is just one part of it. Siyempre, yung consistency of using it. Kasi, siyempre kung sobrang obsessed ka lang ng pabago-bago, parang makita tayo, iba na naman. Parang hindi rin sila maka-connect masyado. And like what you said, hindi sila makarally to something
like a consistent
na...
Which is, I think, what drew me to branding. It's more of a long-term, di ba, na when you develop something, pag na-finalize na yan, the idea should be, ilang years yan. Hindi siya parang yung campaign lang na ngayong quarter ito, next quarter iba. Ganun.
Yep. Siyempre, pag ganun talaga, dependent din talaga siya dun sa buy-in ng client. Kasi parang, for designers, unless parang kayo na it's your own thing, na you develop your own brand, you sell your own brand, you design your own brand. Siyempre, hindi ka talaga maka-design in a vacuum na wala yung buy-in ng kliyente. And even nga, sarili mong brand, di ba? Siyempre, may buy-in din ng partner mo.
Correct.
Kung wife mo yung partner mo dun. So, parang may buy-in din from other people.
Siguro, may iba naman tayo, Dan. For people who are curious, parang, what's your typical day like?
Typical day? Sobrang boring. Ano ba? I wake up really early, mga 6 a.m.
Do you have a morning routine?
Sobrang morning person ako. Siguro 6 a.m., paggising ko, maliligo na ako agad. Kasi, parang, gusto ko yung umaga kasi tahimik yung umaga. So, parang, paggising ko, usually umalis ako ng apartment, mga 7, kasi, at least at 7, bukas na yung kapihan. So, kumuha ng coffee. Dito kasi sa Poison 9 pa nagbubukas. So, parang 7, 7:15, 7:30 umalis na ako. So, nandito ako depende sa time, pero average from 7:30 to 8 a.m. Tapos, nag-work na ako. Check ng emails, or tingnan yung mga project, or magsulat ng brief, or kaupulapin yung mga designers. Tapos, within the day, mostly, ganun lang siya. Parang, kung walang meetings, nandito lang ako sa studio, working on projects. Yung interesting thing is, dito sa studio, nag-change kami ng work hours. Yung work hours namin naging 7 to 3 p.m. Para kasi yung mga designers, makauwi sila ng maaga na walang traffic. So, pag 3 p.m., alis na sila, or pinipilit ko sila umalis para... Kasi pag magstay pa sila matagal, parang wala yung point nung 3 p.m. na uwian, mahirapan din sila umuwi. So, parang... Kaya, medyo nag-change siya. From before, yung sa Katipunan, 10 yung usually yung pasok nila. So, ngayon, nag-change siya. So, parang, ayun, for most of the day, either brainstorming lang, tapos siguro may certain times of the day, mag-video games. Siguro ako. Yung reason ba't nilagay ko yung video game, yung mga... Sa bahay, wala akong TV. Dinala ko lahat sa office, yung mga distractions. Kasi, pag nasa bahay ako, tingin ko baka hindi
ka matulog.
Hindi ko matulog kasi mag-video game lang ako. At least sa office, I mean, may trabaho naman. Pero, pag naglaro ako, makukonsensya ako na, nagtatrabaho yung iba. Naglalaro. So, hindi ako masyado matagal maglalaro. So, ayun, mga tricks I do to myself. So, parang ganun lang siya. Pero kung umuwi na sila ng 3, ako wala, mga 5 or 6 pa umuwi. So, I stay and then yung email.
So, in terms of productivity, did you notice any change in like your team's productivity when you changed the time na ganun?
Yeah, I think it helped na parang na medyo, hindi man super strict, pero na medyo strict yung 3 p.m. na cut. Kasi kailangan magtrabaho before mag-end of the day. Kasi, ayun, parang pinipilit ko talaga silang umalis ng 3 kasi parang like what I said earlier, it defeats the purpose of having an early off.
Yeah.
Kasi pag nag-4 ka lang, hirap na dyan eh.
Yeah.
Hirap na mag-MRT, pauli. So parang yun yung...
And the early start time also helps them avoid the rush or traffic din. So at least both ways.
Yep. Kasi parang sobrang tindi talaga ng traffic sa Manila eh. Parang you have to adjust.
Correct.
Parang hirap eh, no? Parang binubugbog ka ng traffic every day eh. So parang we have to adjust. And so far, okay naman siya. It's been working naman. And I think for like design studios, parang it's always been output-based naman. Hindi naman siya naka-base kung ilang hours ka nagtatrabaho. Kasi iba-iba eh. I mean, may iba mabilis, may iba mabagal. So parang it's more of maximizing the time and talent that we have. So, yun.
Do you have any piece of advice for aspiring, not just designer, but like somebody who wants to create their own firm or studio?
Advice. Nahirap. Nahirap magsabi. Joke lang. I think, yung isang advice is, parang, ano ba magandang advice? Parang, yung work, I guess yung sa design work, regardless if designer ka na ngayon or bago kang designer, parang yung tingin ko kasi every time, and this connects to our earlier discussion din about self-doubt, parang yung tingin ko kasi I'm only good as my last work, parang ganun siya parati, and I guess medyo challenge siya more than an advice, kasi parang siyempre may mga certain times makagawa ka ng work na maganda, di ba? Na everyone likes the work that you do. But, hindi ka naman pwedeng ma-attach lang dun sa work na magaling ka lang dun sa work na yun. Kasi, for me, siyempre dapat yung next work ko better than the previous work. And then, when I design something, tas parang, mas pangit pala to than the previous work. So, parang, the next work that you'll do, sana better than this work na hindi kasing ganda ng previous work mo. Diba? So, parang, for me, parang ano talaga siya, constant search or struggle to come up with yung best work possible. So parang, even if you're a young designer, parang maganda lang siya na something to keep in mind. Kasi, parang yung industry natin, parang it's based on parang evolving and growing up as a designer. Kasi syempre, pag hindi ka, kunwari for you, yung isa sa mga nakita mo na thing to do was to create your own brands, diba? Pero syempre, hindi mo siya ma-realize I'm assuming, if hindi mo inisip yun na how do you become better, diba? And yun yung solution mo na this is how I can become better, to make my own brands and to show everyone na this is the way to do it. So parang, tingin ko maganda siyang challenge to everyone. Especially for a creative person.
Speaking of best work, like, in your long career, and there's a lot, pero
long career.
Is there, like, do you have a favorite na work?
Yeah, I think sobrang weird nito kasi parang there's a level of irony. Kasi yung favorite work ko, yung sa UP, Fighting Maroons, pero I don't think it's my best work. So parang sometimes you realize na parang medyo magkaiba pala siya. Magkaiba pala yung important work, favorite work, and best work. So parang kunwari yung sa UP, parang sobrang favorite ko siya, and I think it's an important work. Kasi parang, you rally a whole university that are always debating against each other and to come under one banner to support the team. And design had a role to play within that project. But then looking at it, parang inisip mo, ang dami kong pwedeng ayusin sa stuff na ginawa namin. Pero syempre, there are things na nandun na siya. Hindi mo na siya pwedeng
galawin,
di ba? I guess, in a way, parang yung sinasabi mo na pag parang anak mo siya, yun na itsura ng anak mo. Hindi mo na kung pwedeng, di ba, dagdagan ng mata, di ba, parang palakihin yung katawan. Pwede siguro palakihin ng katawan. Pero di ba, nandun na siya eh. So parang, andyan na siya. So parang nurture na lang, help it grow, or damitan mo mas maayos, di ba, turuan mo ng better things. So parang ganun siya. And wala na kaming, hindi ko na siya magalaw, hindi ko na siya ma-improve. But it's there. And parang yun, it had a role to play in in the university.
So if that's your favorite, what do you consider your best work?
Wow, oh my God. Sobrang hirap ng tanong. Kaya nga sinasagot ko na lang yung
favorite na.
Yung favorite. Kasi sobrang best. Parang hindi ko alam.
Kasi for me, I like asking that kasi it gives me a perspective of, parang how you view your work, diba? Kasi parang at least gives me a perspective din on my own parang work or mga brands na ginagawa namin. Ano yung...
Yeah. Shit, magandang tanong yan. Wait lang, paisipan mo ako. Kasi nung nabasa ko to, yung sagot ko na inisip eh. Pero hindi mo tinanggap eh. So nahirapan ako bigla. Wait lang ha. Oh my God.
Is it one of your illustrations? Or is it a client work?
Siguro. Sige. Dahil sinabi mo yung illustration, pwede ko siya i-mix. Tingin ko yung best work ko siguro is yung... Pag best ba, ibig sabihin sobrang ganda din niya in my eyes. Parang ganun, no?
Oh, parang ganun. Yung parang parang proud. Kumbaga parang let's say, kung ilalaban mo yung best work mo against best work ng all the other designers that you respect.
May laban siya, ganun. Naku, wala akong
Humble talaga ni Dan.
wala akong masashare. Ano ba? Wow. Sige, tingin ko yung best work ko is yung ginawa ko for personal projects actually. Ito yung Versus Hearts na ginawa ko before. Hindi ko lang kung nakita mo na yan eh. Ito yung mga heart ng mga rival. I think best work siya. Siguro in terms of the look, marami pa siguro ako pwede ma-improve sa kanya. But parang sobrang nag-resonate siya to a lot of people and walang kwenta din ako, hindi ko na siya natuloy-tuloy kasi naging busy ako because of it. Kasi it got me
more projects.
It got me more projects. It also got me a lot of media mileage kasi parang lumabas siya kung saan-saan sa Huffington, sa HuffPost, sa BuzzFeed, sa lahat ng mga viral stuff. So parang, hindi naman yun yung reason ba't siya best, but I guess parang it just shows na a lot of people
resonated with that work.
Yeah, correct. It resonated with a lot of people. And it was very simple na idea lang na, yun nga, because after reading yung mga comics lang na, specifically yung parang Joker and Batman, I think nabasa ko yung episode na yun na parang sinasabi ni Joker, hindi ko na maalala kung ano yung chapter episode yun na sinasabi niya kay Batman na, pag wala yung villain, parang ano yung hero, di ba? Paano ka maging hero pag walang villain? So parang after kong mabasa yung pasal ko, nga no, parang walang hero, walang villain. Tapos parang walang villain, wala ring hero. So naisip ko lang, ilagay sila sa heart kasi parang yun nga, secretly, deep inside, parang inisip nila, they need the other to exist. So parang yun lang siya. Kasi siya versus heart. So that's why I think parang yun yung best work kasi.
Nice. Sige, we're almost we're almost at the end of the show. Parang cliche question, pero parang what else are you looking to accomplish over the next, let's say over the next decade?
Wow. So, sobrang ano ba? Sobrang hirap ng question mo.
Parang
kasi
interview question lang ng applicant. How do you see yourself in 5 years?
Magpa-fail siguro ako sa mga question mo. Sobrang hirap ng question mo na yan kasi siguro sinasabi ko siya, but a lot of people disagree with me na hindi kasi ako nagpaplano ng ganung kahaba. But siguro the things that I do, parang it seems like
there's a plan.
Parang there's a plan, pero parang hindi talaga kasi kaya parang pinagdidebatihan parati namin yan. Gawa tayo ng 5-year plan. Ha? Wala nang mangyayari dyan sa 5-year plan na yan. Kasi trinatry namin siya gawin before. Trinay talaga namin siya gawin before 5-year plan. Tapos pag after 5 years, guys, as in wala tayo. Twice namin siya ginawa from ideals until nung after ideals, tapos hindi namin na siya magagawa. Tapos parang ako, wag na tayo magplano-plano, guys, ha? Kasi walang nangyayari. But anyways, because you asked that question, ako yung thing ko now, and sobrang interesting siya kasi a couple of years ago, naisip ko siya, tapos may friend ako na /client.
na napag-uusapan namin siya na iniisip ko talaga at that time, what if gumawa ako ng sarili kong, syempre wala na akong pera, but in a way, para siyang VC, para siyang venture capitalist. Pero yung contribution ko, design. Kumbaga, I'll invest in a company para sa designer. So parang, well, matagal ko siya iniisip. Pero it's something na ask my other designer friends or maybe non-designer friends also na to see na how to do it. Tapos parang a year ago, nakita ko na some other big firms are doing it na rin pala. Sila Frog, ginawa din nila eh. Pangalan nila Frog, ano ba?
Yeah. What's his name?
May parang venture na rin sila, di ba? Tapos parang, exactly, parang ganun yung ginagawa nila.
Design yung, kumbaga, yung token niya.
No, design yung token niya.
In exchange for equity.
Tapos parang may mga iba din na funding yung binibigay. Tapos recently, may 2 designers who used to work for Facebook. I forget their name. Pero nag-start sila nung combined that VC yung pangalan nila. Wala pang stuff on their website, but yun yung ginagawa nila. 2 designers coming in. So parang inisip ko, parang it's something interesting because yung equity mo is design, tapos may influence ka as a designer. Pero in a way, parang may client ka pa rin. Parang may na hindi ako pa rin yung magde-decide ng lahat ng ano. Hindi ko nga alam if tama yun eh. Tingin ko nga baka mas tama yung ginagawa mo na ikaw yung gagawa mismo ng brand mo. Ikaw yung designer. Ikaw magde-develop ng something. Pero iba rin to na iba rin yung iba talaga yung may-ari ng brand na parang you're still working as a designer or a graphic designer or branding person, but yung come on mo lang is the brand. So wala. Parang tingin ko, parang yun yung imagine ko na maybe something that can be done in the next 10 years, 10 years apart from, designing.
Actually, I think yun yung I think that's one of the parang ideal na scenario for a creative. Kasi yun din yung iniisip ko when I started Antidote, na I'll create the idea, tapos may royalties ka. Para you're not just creating, tapos next project na naman, next project. Pero yung binuhos kasi, like, I'm sure ganun ka din naman. Like, when you work on something, talagang hindi naman yan, basta project lang, tapos na. You really put your heart and soul, as dramatic as it sounds, pero parang, you really make sure na, kailangan ganito. Parang, like, when you come up with an idea, it's like giving a piece of yourself to that project. So parang feeling ko lang dati na, dapat hindi lang siya, ito yung scope of work, ito yung fee, tapos na. Dapat may ongoing na balik. Pero, when I started, nilagyan ko yung contracts ko ng mga royalty. Yung very first client ko, when he did, tinawag niya ako sa meeting, let's sign the contract. Akala ko, okay, i-approve. Inex niya yung part ng royalty. Sinign niya. Wala siya sinabi, inex lang niya. Nakasmile siya, inabot niya sa akin yung contract. So parang okay. So,
maganda yung sinasabi mo na yun sa royalty kasi yung isang designer friend ko nagsabi sa akin na may design studio sa, nakalimutan ko lang yung name sa Thailand, na yung contract nila may ganyan. Pero pumipirma yung kliyente na yung project na to, yung stuff na ginawa ko, ito yung scope. Pag trinay mo to ibenta sa t-shirt, sa product, may royalties siya. Tapos pumapayag yung mga kliyente niya. So parang inisip ko, shit, parang paano ko i-apply yun sa dito.
Diba? Yun nga eh. I think that's one of sobrang eye-opener for me that time. Kasi parang I was thinking, sa US, gustong-gusto to. Royalties na. Fair naman eh kasi ganyan. Walang pumuha. At that time, syempre, I was starting out, parang wala rin akong any...
Hindi ko nga alam if ngayon may kukuha pa rin nun, no?
Actually, I've never tried yet. Try natin kaya. Hanap tayo nga. Let's collaborate on a project.
Yung challenge kasi sa royalty din is yung parang, how do you keep track of it, di ba? Siyempre dapat may level of relationship.
Involvement ka dun sa business.
Kasi din naman naman to track eh. Unless digital lahat ng data niya na...
That was the big challenge. Kaya after a while, napaisip ako dun sa, gawa na lang akong sarili kong brand. Kasi kung, you're pouring all your ideas, tapos, parang project fee lang lang. Kasi parang baka dapat yata, gawa ko sarili na lang. Parang ganun. different headache din naman to have
I'm
your
sure mas challenging yun eh. Manufacturing,
correct. Yung
quality
parang
control,
operations, logistics, parang hindi to dapat kung iniisip mo.
Ayun nga. Tapos syempre parang saan ka, when do you step back as a designer, di ba? Kasi syempre, yung cost ng product, tapos may packaging na, na ikaw yung gagawa, tapos parang iniisip mo na, kung kliyente to, hindi ko iniisip to eh. Iniisip ko lang maganda yung design eh. Pero ngayon,
parang before mo pa isipin yung design,
alam mo na yung magkano siya, di ba? Parang, plastic lang to, or papel lang to, or box lang to, or something like that.
Yeah, parang yun nga nagiging challenge. Parang how do you stay creative when you're deep into parang the admin type of work, di ba? So, yun nga. It's still an ongoing struggle din, I would say.
But I guess yung interesting lang naman doon is, I guess most of yung creativity, nagsashine talaga siya sa limitations eh. Kung ano lang yung pwede mong gawin. Tapos parang you work around it. And obviously, kung gusto mo ng super artsy na production, maganda naman talaga siya. Pero, syempre, yung limitation helps also eh.
Correct.
You work harder as a creative.
Yeah, yung having constraints.
Yep.
Yeah. Correct. So, siguro then, we won't take too much of your time, no? So, siguro to end the interview, how do you want to be remembered?
Wow, parang hirap ng tanong. Wow. Sobrang hindi ko siya iniisip, to be honest. Parang, I guess, parang, ako lang personally, parang, gusto ko lang malaman ng mga tao siguro na parang yung design work, diba? Parang most of the time you see it in a very commercial setting. But siguro ako, I want to be able to use it in a more social way, I guess. Pero syempre, ang layo niya eh. And the reason why I say maybe that's how I want people to remember me is because it's a very hard undertaking na parang when you look at it, okay, so sobrang hirap na siya challenge. Simulan ko na siya gawin siguro na how design can help society or how design can help small business. Kasi parang that's when you feel, I guess, the strength of design. And a lot of people say na, yun nga, design has the power to change. And obviously, parang ang hirap niya gawin, di ba? Kasi yung change, when people say change, parang they always think na isang malaking change eh. Pero you can create change naman in small little ways na mas applicable eh. And I think sa design, parang sobrang applicable siya in small things like maybe working with startups, working with SMEs, and maybe, kasi yun nga, like what I was saying earlier, parang yun talaga yung first na lens ko when I look at things, design, na hindi ko siya mapalitan.
Yeah.
And I guess yun yung talent maybe na meron ako na pag-aralan ko or natutunan ko. So parang yun yung thing na gusto kong, I guess, mabahagi, I guess, na design dito na pwedeng gamitin ng lahat.
Nice. I love it. Thank you so much, Dan.
Sorry,
thank you for your time. Where can people follow you in Plus63? If people want to keep up with like the works that you're doing.
Yung Instagram ko, Twisted Fork. Yung Instagram ng Plus63, Plus63 Design Co. Yan naman.
So, yun.
Websites,
websites or anything you want to plug or anong mga like projects that you have that you want people to follow?
Ano ba? Yung ginagawa ba? I think, yun, kung may time kayo, tapos parang daan kayo sa Poison, sa Hydra, tapos kung pupunta kayo, sabihan niyo ako.
Nice.
Para at least, parang makapasok kayo sa studio. Kasi parang, yun yung isang thing na gusto din namin sana ma-encourage na yung mga young designers or even not young designers can visit the different studios. Not just our studio, but other studios as well. So parang it's nice to see each other. Siyempre yung traffic hassle, diba?
Yeah.
But yun nga, parang especially for young designers, parang open naman kami to people coming in and sharing stuff that we can share.
Nice. Sige, we'll be the first to take you up on that. We'll bring the whole team here.
Sige, ano
we'll
lang.
have donut and
parang,
coffee.
Maganda lang din na-meet eh. Kasi parang sometimes you're too caught up with work. At least pag may magsabi may pupunta, parang bilang, okay, Kailangan ko mag-effort na mag-schedule na may pupunta.
Nice. Thank you so much, Dan.
Sure, thanks.
Thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review the show on iTunes. It will help more people discover the show. You can also share a screen cap of the show on your social media accounts. Make sure to tag me and let me know which part of the episode you like or didn't like. All feedback is certainly welcome, so feel free to reach out to me on Instagram @KendrickCo to let me know what topics you'd like to be covered next and who you want to hear or learn from in future episodes. Until next time, do the work you want to see done, because life's too short to not be creating your life's work.